What's going on, you guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Ghost Rider figure. Okay, so starting off, this figure comes with no accessories. He only comes with his Build-A-Figure piece, which is the Rhino's leg. And that is quite disappointing for this figure, because this figure could have been a deluxe figure and came with his bike. So that is just a little disappointing, because for $20, all you're getting is this figure, which looks great, but has no accessories whatsoever and comes with the Build-A-Figure piece. That's all he comes with for $20. To me, not well worth it. Starting off though, I will say that the sculpt is really, really good. Try and get it focused in just a little bit more. There you go. Like that head sculpt is amazing. I love it. And I'm gonna go ahead and take the head off. You can kind of see, try and get it focused in where you can kind of see the inside. If it'll focus, you can kind of see he has some orange pupils in there. And I think it's showing up really well, but like they follow you whenever you turn the head, so that's pretty freaking cool. Again, I'm sorry if you can't see that, but I think you can, but that looks awesome. And also his jaw does open up, so that makes it a really, really cool feature, and it just adds on to how amazing this head sculpt is. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. You can go ahead and see that his neck has like the flame, and you can see like his spinal cord coming out of it, like his neck bone, spinal cord and everything protruding through. And he has this kind of like a light blue kind of or gray color on the trim of his collar, and also on his jacket right here, which looks pretty good. His arms, like you can see, he just has like this big biker suit on, I guess you could call it. Going on to the back, you can see, I mean, he does have his chain, which I guess you could call it an accessory, but it's just, it doesn't work very well. It can be removed off, but I choose not to, because it just doesn't add anything by him putting it, because it just looks pathetic, him holding a small chain. To me, Ghost Rider should wield a big ass chain. And again, like I've said in my cable review, I'm not familiar with the character in the comics. I did watch the Nicolas Cage movie, so that's my only knowledge of this figure. So, from all I can tell from just watching the movies, this figure looks absolutely stunning. Okay, so let's go over some articulation. Now, start off with the head. If I can get it focused up a little bit more, there you go. He can look up about that far up, that far down. His jaw does articulate, which is awesome, and he can kind of cock his head just a little bit. Well, without taking it off, but that's about as far you can get with him cocking his head. And it does rotate all the way around. And something I did forget to mention, I just love the flaming hair or whatever. That looks awesome. Kind of reminds me of a Super Saiyan, but it still looks pretty cool. Like all that translucent orange going throughout the skull. Just awesome. Anyways, back to articulation. His arms only move up about that far up. They do rotate around all the way. He has a bicep swivel right here. He has a double jointed elbow. He has a wrist pivot right there, and it does rotate all the way. Same with this arm. He does have a ab crunch. You can get him looking back about that far. Doesn't look too bad in the back, and he can go back pretty far. So that's cool. He does have a waist swivel right here. His feet can only kick out about that far, kick out about that far forward, not so much back. His the butt piece right here hinders the articulation with him kicking back. but he does have a thigh swivel right there. He has double jointed knees. He has nothing down here. He can move his ankle back about that far. No, that far forward. And he does have ankle pivot. So pretty good on the articulation. And before I get to actually grading this figure, I'm going to do some size comparisons. I still don't have my ruler available on me right now. I'm probably going to have to buy a new one because I don't know where it is. Get him to stand. Here he is next to my other Marvel Legends that I currently own. This is my third. There he is next to Wolverine. You can see that Wolverine's still very, very short compared to him. And here he is next to Cable. You can see Cable is just a little bit taller. So I'd say this figure stands roughly under 6 1/4 inches tall. 6 3/4 inches tall, I should say. Because I think Cable is closer to 7 inches tall. But let's go ahead and get to grading the figure. So grading this figure, I'm going to go ahead and give the articulation an A. It does what it's meant to do. It's not perfect, but it still gets the job done. The sculpting is an A+. The sculpting is just absolutely phenomenal. I love it. The paint also gets an A+. The paint just looks good, especially on that head sculpt. The orange translucent paint that goes all the way throughout the skull kind of makes the skull just a little bit transparent in certain places. Looks awesome. And plus I love the little pupils in the eyes. That just gives it an added feature. As far as the price goes, I'd say about a B-, just because you're paying $20 and all you're getting is this figure. I mean, yeah, the paint sculpt is great, but there's nothing that comes with it. I mean, same with accessories. This goes into accessories. Accessories gets an F. There is no bike. There's not a good chain that he can like pretend that he's swinging around or whatever. You know, there's nothing. And posing, I'd give about a C, because I mean, without him having any accessories, this is about as good as you're gonna get as far as posing goes. So overall, I'd give this figure about a high C+, which rating that on a scale from 0 to 100 would probably be somewhere in the high 70s, probably around 77 or 78. So it's not a bad figure. It is a good figure. I do recommend picking it up if you're a Ghost Rider fan. It's just, I feel like you don't get your money's worth with this figure. I mean, all you get is a Build-A-Figure piece and the figure. And to me, that's not worth $20. So until then, until next time, I will see you guys later.